Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here and welcome back to another crypto video. And today has been a really interesting day for crypto. I mean, we're seeing quite a neutral market with a little bit of a negative touch, as quite a lot of cryptos all going down on the last hour here. But by the time I upload this video, things might have already changed. Who knows? One thing that's a fact is that AVAX and Crypto.com are performing like crazy. And I'm not talking about 24 hours. No, I'm talking about the last week, the last month, just in general here. These two cryptos have by far outperformed their competition. And there's a couple other ones like Luna, for example, who have done really well over the last year. For example, look at this, 12,500% up. But right now, over the last 90 days and last month specifically, there's just two who really top it. And that is FX and Crypto.com. So what's going on with the two of these and what are our expectations? Plus, well, since these two coins have gone well, they're due for a little bit of a correction potentially, no? What coins are next? What coins are undervalued? What gems are we looking for? And I'm not talking about the 100x ones. I'm talking about what altcoin gems already out in the market are we looking into. Well, let's first cover quickly what's going on with Crypto.com. So this crypto is doing really amazing on quite a couple of different fronts. From the first front, they have so many partnerships. It's almost, you can't really write a story about this. That's how many partnerships that they've got. So what Crypto.com has really done properly is get this niche of just super promotional pieces. Guys, I'm not talking about the small itty bitty $700,000, $3 million, $4 million little, sponsorship that they go for. No. Here we got the article. Mark Cuban reacting to Staples Center changing their name to the Crypto.com Arena. A $700 million deal. But there's more. Matt Damon is going to star in a Crypto.com competition. He's going to be the face of Crypto.com everywhere. We talked about this last month when the price of one Crypto.com coin, which by the way used to be Monaco coin, right, a couple years back, was only about 22 or about 20 cents. That's also at the time when one of my friends urged me to buy, and I showed you guys a message during one of those live streams or videos. It's crazy to think that that was just like a week or two ago when the price was at 22 cents. It's mind-boggling that was luckily the first time I bought a good chunk of Crypto.com, but unfortunately not the time I went really heavy on it because I was just dabbling into using the platform as I'd never really used it before. Now, I'm just talking here that basically they've gotten this niche of the multi-centi-million dollar partnerships quite right. And what they're basically going for is for the upper part of the partnerships level. So a extreme mass adoption campaign, extremely popular, extremely short amount of time, and most likely set this forward as they're not a conventional crypto like most of the others. They're not a platformer. They're not a use case heavy type of crypto except for on their own platform, which is also why the coin is not really available on that many other exchanges. It's mostly useful in their own little bubble ecosystem, which right now they're going pretty heavy for too. And I think this is one-to-one, where right now they're doing a massive ad campaign with a massive amount of rewards for people to basically get from staking, as they know right now they gotta go heavy. They got to lure all the people in and actually buy their Crypto.com token. As once more, they're going for some really heavy promotion. And I think this is also what's adding up, the fact they're announcing and launching a couple of these things like the supercharger here, stake Crow and earn ETH with one click. Guys, I am not necessarily that excited about Crow as a platform as I'm not really using it too much. The card is okay. And I want to kind of work with them if I can get that going, so I can get like a referral link to their card. I used to have one, even though I've never spoken to any of the team. But for right now, I'm not using it just quite yet. I might get into it if I get a contact for if something goes wrong with you guys. And I'll get back to you guys for hopefully some cool discounts or cool deals. But the crypto itself is just performing so heavily that I got to update. And I think it's overvalued in the sense that the price has gone up so ridiculously much is due for a correction. But it wouldn't really surprise me if Crypto.com ends the year at like $2.50 or so. Just because there's really an appeal and there's really no downside. So it's definitely possible and feasible for Crypto.com to come up into this top 8 spot right here. Wouldn't be too crazy to at least overtake a USDC for the number 9. However, it might knock one of these out the park like BNB did at one point or another. I wouldn't be too amazed by something like that happening. Then again, guys, I've also been sharing this. A lot of people are actually exiting their Ethereum right now, partially because of the fees, but also partially because, well, there isn't really that much happening to Ethereum in comparison to quite a lot of other cryptos right now. And a lot of guys that I know are selling their Ethereum for a couple of different crypto to then eventually come back. And what these billionaires are doing at the end of the day doesn't really matter. It's just really cool for these articles. But apparently, Three Arrows Capital CEO Sujir berated Ethereum and its community in a scathing tweet, saying, "Yes, I've abandoned Ethereum despite supporting it in the past. Yes, Ethereum has abandoned its users despite supporting them in the past. The idea of sitting around while watching the burn and concocting purity tests while zero newcomers can afford the chain is gross." Well, for anybody who's ever sent couple of dollars worth of Ethereum on the network or USDT, you know, it's pretty freaking expensive. Last I wanted to send about, I don't know, $500, had to pay like $77 in fees, and the fun fact is I had to send it twice. So I had to send it from one wallet to another and then send it through because of some restriction. Cost me $120 or so in fees for sending $500 around, so that wasn't really fun. I know there's ways around it, obviously, but Ethereum is just ridiculously expensive right now. And going for like an off-chain ramp, so for example, a layer 2 solution like matic, it isn't really worth it if you just want to send something once, so to speak. So if you want to use something for the longer term, okay, but yeah, layer 2s are fixing the Ethereum problem, but not really short term for small things. It's not really worth it or that nice. Then again, I think in due time, people will really notice, hey, there's a lot of better, I guess, other platforms out there, like, for example, Avalanche, the next crypto on this list, which has done extremely well, and I also think for a good reason right now. Once more, because they take away this little Ethereum problem. They take away the problem of it being so ridiculously expensive, and again, it's just a good platformer, like a couple of others in our usual lists. Now, AVAX flips popular meme coin Shiba Inu in latest mammoth rally following Deloitte deal. So yeah, they got on with one of the big four. Avalanche has flipped Shiba Inu in market valuation. AVAX is currently trading at an all-time high of $127 on the back of its news with its partnership with Big Four accounting firm Deloitte. The Avalanche ecosystem has been growing exponentially since the blockchain launched last year. There's been a reshuffle in the crypto rankings today. Market cap of AVAX, the native token of the Avalanche blockchain network, has surpassed Shiba Inu in market cap. It soared over $27 billion. And remember, guys, my own expectation for the end of the year for AVAX is $60 billion. I wouldn't be too surprised if that happened. Same thing for Luna. Wouldn't be too surprised if we actually hit a $60 billion valuation. Then again, it's a little bit of a competition between the two, so it could be that one's going to overtake the other by far. However, if we look back about a week ago, Luna was way above AVAX, so it's going to be a little bit of a battle between these two. Right now, AVAX got a big partnership, so they're really ramping up the pace a little bit right now. So, the flipping is coming on the back of a mammoth surge because of the last few days since AVAX, the developers of the Avalanche blockchain, announced a partnership with Deloitte. Announcement was made on Tuesday by Gun Sirr, founder of Avalanche and CEO of AVAX. Sirr revealed that the partnership will be aimed at building more efficient disaster relief platforms using the Avalanche blockchain, and the announcement was considered to be very bullish for the adoption of Avalanche. And according to CryptoSec, a pseudonymous crypto analyst on Twitter, the fact that Deloitte, a Fortune 500 company, is choosing Avalanche for partnership is a sign of better things to come. And I always agree on that note as well. We always look and we always count on the partnerships that some of these companies in the crypto space have. With VeChain, we know the partnerships. With HBAR, we know the partnerships. With Crypto.com, we know the partnerships and the big sponsorship deals. And now again with AVAX, we know the partnerships. We know they're good. We know they're staying solid in that regard. So I'm always excited about that. All right. Then I had one little article here about some of the reasons to be bullish on some of these crypto. I guess one thing I should quickly throw in here, guys, is that I'm still extremely bullish on metaverse coins. I'm still going really heavy on those. They're going to be a little bit pump and dumpy for a good little while, and that's most likely because people just don't know what to do, and sometimes they go so big on the buying. And I've also noticed that a couple of guys like Altcoin Daily, for example, whenever he posts altcoins in his video, they usually do pump a little bit because of the video itself, it kind of looks like. So sometimes I feel as if the bigger the crypto YouTubers get, and Altcoin Daily is so big right now, it could really be that they're starting to be market manipulators if they talk about small coins, you know? on our channel, for example, if we talk about a small coin, ain't nothing gonna happen. You know what's gonna happen? Some people will buy in with their little couple of $1,000s, but if a person talks about it with 2 million followers and the video gets, let's say, 500,000 views, and they all start buying in, yeah, that could have actual consequences. You know, it's something to kind of think about. Having said that, let's talk about a couple of coins which are undervalued right now, huh? Let's not waste too much time on them, but let me talk to you. Elrond Gold, I bought a good chunk of a couple of days ago. It popped off today. Remember, guys, a couple of days ago, and even a couple of weeks ago, I was shouting Elrond Gold, and it did really, really well. I think our last buy was like $350, and that was actually one of our sell points as well of earlier, because the majority of it was bought at about $130, if I'm not mistaken. I think $130 to $167 was my initial buying range for Elrond Gold, but I've actually been with them, I guess, I'm not even sure how long I've been with them for, to be honest with you. Yeah, I'm actually not too sure about that. I think I bought some Elrond at $50 as well. I've been a long-term holder, but I really haven't bought the majority of my chunk, I think until $130 when we made a video about them. And I think recently as well, what was the price now? I think 200. I'm not sure anymore, guys. We have to look back at the video, but it's been doing really proper. Then, from a certain perspective, though, I'm not really sure how high this is going to go because they've been searching so well that I'm also sometimes thinking, might be a little bit overvalued. Might be some time for other coins to flourish. Then again, I'm always bullish, but you know, you got to look at the cycles a little bit. So, AVAX, Crypto.com, and Elrond Gold have done really, really well. What coins are next? What coins am I holding? So, Metaverse, always, 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 and again, as I've said in 1,000 of my videos, all these Binance Coin, BNB, and FTT type of coins always. They go in the same little basket as Crypto.com. But a couple of coins that I really think are worth it right now. If you want the short-term gains, but pretty certain of an easy 10%, Solana will easily go back to $250, pretty short-term. Same thing for BNB, $600. Those two are pretty easy bets for the short-term. Cardano will really easily go back to $2. It's again, these are psychological points, but they'll most likely be hit in the snap of an eye once Bitcoin gets a little bit of a bounce back towards the upside. So if we're looking short term, those are pretty undervalued right now from their respected values. ADA specifically has a good path towards the top. Since they've gone through a couple of announcements and kind of strengthened their roadmap, it's looking pretty damn juicy. Then again, XRP is also still in a really good position from the perspective that they're still going on with that lawsuit. And that's always, always, always a kind of good thing to speculate on, if you ask me, from the perspective that it's just the risk to reward being so juicy, so good, so worth it. Buying right now, I'm not sure if it's the best proposition, except for the fact that I always buy XRP with my long positions over on Bybit at $1.07, and every single day it's popped off, and the one time it won't. A lot of people will get angry at me in the comment section, but I keep telling you, one day it will not work, right? But the majority of days it does, and so every single time I've traded this one, we've already made so much profit just from buying it. I think I've already bought it maybe 6 or 7 times now. People just following that strategy, even though it's not financial advice, it's just my own thoughts, right? Would have already made a good amount of profit. So if it fails one of these times now, it's not a bad deal anymore because we made so much profit. As again, remember, if you only take 3% profit, for example, on a trade, that's still 30% with the leverage that we use, and that's freaking juicy stuff. So if you then lose one trade after winning 6, is that really bad? Having said that, there's quite a lot of crypto in this list, like for example, Polygon here, which are also just extremely undervalued from their, I guess, supposed logical values. From the perspective that it's just so useful, and I guess the same thing goes for Chainlink. Chainlink 2.0 was really an amazing update. We all talked about this for so long, yet the price doesn't really reflect the future of Chainlink at all. I mean, we talked about when the Chainlink 2.0 was announced, right? We talked about how the value went up then, how people were excited about the future of Chainlink. But then after that, the price just kind of kept dumping piece by piece by piece, and nobody got really excited about it anymore, even though the fundamentals of Chainlink are basically better than most cryptos in this entire list. So if you wanted a couple of my own personal top picks for huge growth throughout the next couple of months that are really undervalued, these are a couple of the ones that I think are really, really juicy. Now, are people thinking about it the same way? I think so. However, it's pretty hard to say how people are reacting right now, as we are in a little bit of a phase where there's a huge amount of fear, yet meme coins are doing good, which basically means the bull run is definitely standing, but it's not as certain as it has been in the past. So right now is a little bit of a strange time to be in. As I've also said before, Cadena is also one that I sometimes buy little bits into a little bit more, mostly because, well, it's been so hyped up before, it's so huge, it's freaking strange the way it was built, really, really smart. And so I do think this one might go back to $26 without that much ado as well. Ooh, I'm now thinking, damn, I didn't turn off the AC. Hopefully that wasn't too loud of a the whole time. If it was, I'm so sorry. It won't be there next episode. But I'll see you guys again in another one, as these are my top picks right now. And I'm going to get back to the grind, get myself some profit, because I'm going to record a little staking guide for over on Patreon. And maybe soon I'll announce the Patreon a little bit more formally in videos, as I got to work on it first before I want to announce it a little bit more. Right now I'm keeping it kind of on the low. Because I want to make it a little bit of a bigger thing for people who want to see more content, while also keeping it at an affordable price tag, of course, because it's not that, crazy. All right, thank you guys all so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure you press the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again in another crypto video soon. Wow.